Ah, there you are. I've been wondering where you were. Welcome, everybody. Oh, and cheers. You know how I like my coffee. Well, here we are again. Welcome once again to Elvis the Ultimate Fan channel. If you are joining me live, thank you very, very much. I appreciate it a lot, more than I can say. And if you're watching me on catch-up or replay or whatever you want to call it, great. And thanks for stopping by. I will say... thumbs up if you can remember to do that. If everybody who watches this live stream and then everybody that watches the catch-up just gives a thumbs up, you'll see the thumbs up below the video. It will help a great deal because every thumbs up, every like is a like for Elvis. So, and that's why, as I say every week, that's why we are doing this live stream. So, how is everybody on this? Well, I suppose it's Sunday morning for people like Jack and lunchtime for, say, Dave, Arkansas Dave, and then evening for people like myself in Europe. And then for people in Australia, it must be the middle of the night. So if you're watching from Australia, I really do appreciate it. And if you're not watching live and you're just watching on playback, I appreciate that as well. I really do. So we're going to have a lot of fun tonight because I've got a new jingle for the quiz, which you're going to like. You're really going to like it because every time I hear it, I smile. We're going to have underrated Elvis songs. We're going to have a live poll. We always have fun with live poll. We had hats last week. A song I wish Elvis had recorded. Photoshop of the week. Caption this photo. Smoking hot photo. This day in Elvis history. A topic which, that's a clue behind me. I did see somebody saying, oh, Paul says 11:32 in California. So it's coming up to sort of midday in California. Hi, Paul. Yes, I did see somebody on the chat earlier on saying they thought this was another negative topic. It's not that negative. It's more sort of retrospective and to see how things changed over the years. So 2:30 in Boston. Hi, Norset. Right. A YouTube channel I recommend. Not so much a YouTube channel I recommend, but we're going to give a shout out to somebody later on who runs a YouTube channel, is well known to all the Elvis family. She's a great creator, and I'm going to give her a shout out. Thank you very much for all the kind messages and shows of support and emails and messages that you send me during the week. I do read them all. I know I don't get a chance to reply to as many as I can, but I do read them all. A quick one as well. The other week we did the statue that was unveiled at the Always Elvis exhibition in 1978. And the plaque said, and I'm going to show you that plaque now, it said that there was 837 consecutive sold-out performances in Las Vegas for Elvis. And I didn't even cop it at the time that it is actually wrong. It is 637, not 837. So whether somebody took it down wrong for the engraver, for the person that was making the plaque, because... I suppose 6 could look like 8 if the handwriting isn't too great. And how do I know that? I know that because Barry Manilow has just broken Elvis's record of 637 consecutive performances. The only thing is Elvis did it in a lot shorter time than Barry. And of course, Elvis did it first. So it's not really taking anything away from Elvis. Congratulations to Barry. He's been around a long, long time. Great performer. He's got a lot of following. So well done, Barry. But I just wanted to point that out. It's not 837. It's 637. and the plaque is wrong. So the next time you go to the Westgate, you can say, that's wrong. Okay, right. So quiz time, everybody. Also next week, stick around for next week. Make sure you visit me next week, because I'm going to be telling you who was fan of the month for September. And on first inspection, it looks very, very close, neck and neck. So it's if it's 637 shows, that's news to me. Okay, Tim. I mean, that's basically what they said on the news this week, was that he'd equaled Elvis and then he'd surpassed it by doing one more show, taking it to 638. Maybe there's a doubt and people don't know for sure, but a lot of people have said that plaque is actually wrong. 837 sold out performances should be 637. Maybe I should sit down during the week and total it up. But I'm not going to have much time this week, because I also wanted to tell you that this week I will be interviewing somebody for the show, somebody connected with Elvis, yes, from Elvis's life and career. And so I'll be working on that most of the week and editing it up and doing post-production and everything. So I hope you'll be looking forward to that as well. It's been a long time coming, but I've finally got it down. So I think I could only see Dave as moderator this week. I don't think I can see Maxine or Chris this week. Norset says, a new interview. Yes, and I'm excited about it as well. I'm very, very excited about it. So this week, it's kind of a mixture. So I'm going to call it general knowledge again. That's what I'm going to. Kirsty Marie says, love the interviews. Good. Well, hopefully you're going to love this one. And I'll say no more. I could tell you the sex of the person. I will actually, if I haven't already said she. It's a she. So there you go. That narrows it down by 50% by telling you it's a she. So here we go. Who is going to be the first person to? Somebody says Streamlabs is in the house. Yeah, Streamlabs. Vincenzo says Streamlabs has woken up. Linda Thompson, ? I've asked Linda, and I'm still kind of hopeful that she will come on. Yeah. So who is going to be the first recipient of this, I think, very funny jingle? And the first couple of questions are... Backwards, Elvis backwards. Okay, who likes... somebody said the curator from Graceland, Angie Marquez. No, Graceland wouldn't allow Angie to come on the show. I don't know why, but there you are. Now, backwards Elvis. I'm going to play this, and who is going to be the first person to tell me? Doreen says, I suck at this one. Okay, well, Dylan says he likes backwards Elvis. He likes backwards Elvis, and he likes the he likes the jumpsuits as well. Here we go. So, backwards Elvis number 1. Okay, I just realized actually that I need to do something to my backwards Elvis. I need to do that because I'm going to have to play that again. What do we think this was? Okay, there was just a technical thing I had to do, and it's still not working, would you believe? I wonder why that's not working. Okay, because every time now I play that, it's not going to, it's going to go through all of them. Well, let's see if this does. Yeah, I'll try this. Yeah, I'm going to have difficulties here, folks, because it's going to play every single one every time. So you're going to have to listen through two. Actually, you're going to have to listen through three by the looks of it. Latch. I'll see if I can fix it for you. No, it's not going to work. Okay. All right. Well, I have to leave it. We'll have to leave that one and see what you say it was. Okay, here we go. Dylan got it, Steve. It was Raised on Rock. And just to prove it, we'll play it and then we'll play the second one. Okay, so this is Raised on Rock. Okay, what's this one? Okay, now if anybody can tell me what this one is. Okay. Now, a lot of people are saying, I miss you, and it's Mike M who got it right, and it is I Miss You. So well done, Mike M. Now, I didn't play the jingle for Dylan, and I'm going to play it for Mike now. Are you ready for this?
You want to get serious or just wait a little bit?
What do you think of that? Are you ready for this?
You want to get serious or just wait a little bit?
So, yeah, we all know that comes from That's the Way It Is. And we also know that, I am not going to be able to do the quiz, I don't think, because every time I push the play button now for the next thing, it's going to go through Raised on Rock, I Miss You, and all the other ones as well. I'll see what I can do. I might have to just talk over them. So Mike M got I Miss You. Dylan got Raised on Rock. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just talk a little bit until I get to the third one. You can probably hear Raised on Rock playing in the background and I Miss You. Okay. So, well done to Dylan and well done to Mike M. Now, this is the third one coming up now in a second, and I'll raise the fader in a second and I'll see what I can. Right. Backwards Elvis, number 3 coming up. Okay, if anybody knows what that is, it looks like a couple of people have actually got it. I'll see if I can just do this again. Hang on a second. There's some reason it doesn't want to. I know why. I know why I'm doing the wrong one. That's why. Yes. Okay. Here we go. Pause. Right. Okay, so I can get rid of those now. Right, so who has actually got the right answer? It was Bringing It Back. And was it Mike again? Was it Mike M? Wow. Okay, let's have a look. All right, let's have a look here now. I'm taking, Dave, when you say Mike M has got Bringing It Back. Is that correct? Okay. That's the one there. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one called Bringing It Back. And Mike M got that. Very, the piano, I think, gave it away. Okay. Yeah, somebody said Mike has quick fingers. Right, now I've sorted out my jingle and my playback button. Well done, Mike. You get this again.
Want to get serious or just play a little bit?
Okay, who likes that jingle? And I just love the way she goes after she says yes. Are you ready for this again, Mike, and everybody else?
Want to get serious or just play a little bit?
Arkansas says, man, she's practically begging him. Yes. Raised on Rock I found easy, but the other two I was stumped. Yeah. Okay. No, I think that lady is still alive. In fact, her granddaughter left a comment on the clip that I lifted that from on YouTube. And she says she always talks about it. So I think that lady is still alive. So one more time.
You want to get serious or just play a little bit?
No. And Elvis gives a little afterwards. Okay, so the next question, actually, there's two questions coming up now, and they're publicity photos. Do you remember last week I did publicity photos, and you've got to guess what movie the photo is from? Here we go. The is the kiss. Yes, it is, Deb. Yes, you're quite correct. Right, here we go. So I've got this one. Here we go. What movie is that from? Lily says, Steve, keep that jingle. I'll keep it for a few weeks, definitely, because it's such fun. Loving You, says Duncan Campbell. Frankie and Johnny. Blue Hawaii. Banjo. Hi, Banjo, says G.I. Blues. It Happened at the World's Fair. This one actually quite threw me because I thought his hair looked shorter in the movie than this. Okay. The actual movie that this is from is G.I. Blues. Rachel says Fun in Acapulco. Follow That Dream. I think his hair was almost blonde, a sandy blonde in Follow That Dream. Girls, Girls, Girls. I'm trying to place the guitar to the movie. Well, the guitar, you see, could have just been a prop they were using in the studio. So, Mike M, my goodness me, Mike, you really are doing so well this week. Mike M, a hat trick, as Dave says, quite correct, to use a footballing term. I was going to put G.I. Blues, says Bossa Nova Baby. Hi, Bossa. So, Mike, you get the again.
You want to get serious or just play a little bit?
As we probably know as well, we should really call him Hat Trick Mike. As you probably know as well, that jingle occurs just after that young girl has come up and she's just hysterical. She just, Elvis. And he goes, oh, what's the matter, baby? And then she goes, kiss me, I love you. And she just throws his arms around him. God love her. So maybe I should use that for a jingle as well one week. The manner she says yes.
You want to get serious or just play a little bit?
We could listen to that for a few weeks, couldn't we? Quite easily. Right. Okay, so yes, GI Blues. What is this movie from? This still. Yeah, another guitar picture as well. I swear the ladies went crazy. Yes. That's one of the best jingles. Yeah, I thought so, Tracy, when I was doing it, when I was uploading it to the sound channel machine, so forth, whatever you want to call it, sound mixer. I thought that's a really good jingle. Really good jingle. Okay, so somebody has got it. John Rowley says King Creole, but somebody was in before John. And Dave says that it was Duncan. So Duncan.
You want to get serious or just play a little bit?
Ay. Where do I get these from? Well, I know where I get them from. Now, I've got my soundbox sorted out. So now we've got a mystery voice. Have I got a jingle for mystery voice?
The mystery voice.
Yes, I do. Paul says, was I second on GI Blues? I'm not sure, Paul. I don't really get much chance to look. I rely on my mods to tell me. And that lady was going to have a heart attack. So, mystery voice. And I really do think that this one is going to catch you out. Well, I hope it is. Because I've never, ever caught you out. All these weeks we've been doing these quizzes. It must be years now we've been doing these quizzes. And you've never failed to give me a correct answer. This is the mystery voice.
Oh, it was the most fun. We were at Sound City Studios, and we had one side that was for like recording the album, and the other side was our band rehearsal camp, and it was just all of us in there, like a real band, I guess. Like.
So, who do you think that was? Susan Henning. Okay. I'm going to say, somebody says, is it Susan Henning? No, Dylan, unfortunately not. I need the surname and the Christian name. So Dave says Riley Keough, and it was Ruth. So well done, Ruth. I think somebody did put Riley, but I do need Riley Keough. So yeah, it's Ruth. I'm just looking here now. Somebody did put Riley, but then yeah, I'd agree with Dave on that. It is Ruth. Ruth Daniel. Well done, Ruth. Okay. And Jack says well done as well. So, Ruth, you are going to be the last recipient of this new jingle this week.
You want to get serious or just play a little bit?
Yes. And sorry about the little hitch earlier on with the backwards Elvis. It kept playing the same one over and over again. I do apologize. And I'll try and make sure that doesn't happen again. Thank you to everybody that partook and took part in the quiz. It's just for fun, but there is a monthly prize at the end. So, excuse me. I didn't want to slurp coffee down the microphone to you. Oh, by the way, you can actually support the channel by buying me a coffee if you wish. You can use the link, or you can scan the QR code. The link is below in the description box. Now, what have we got to do? We can do the topic, and then we'll do the poll. But the topic is, and a lot of people I think might have guessed this from just what I said and what I showed on the little thumbnail. And it is the shows Elvis would prefer to forget. And as I say, a lot of you have probably guessed it already. On Monday, April 23rd, 1956, Elvis made his Las Vegas debut at the New Frontier Hotel, Las Vegas. And there he is behind me. Heartbreak Hotel, his first hit and his first album, titled appropriately Elvis Presley, were both about to top the charts, and he just signed his first movie contract with Paramount Pictures. Having crisscrossed the South and parts of the Midwest over the past 2 years, leaving a trail of frenzied teenage girls in his wake, Elvis was welcomed to the new frontier with high hopes. Comedian Shecky Green and bandleader Freddie Martin and his orchestra were booked into the 1,000-seat Venus Room with the Venus Starlets dancers. The show promised a cast of 60 performers. 10 days before the engagement, his manager Tom Parker negotiated a $15,000 deal for Elvis to join the bill for 2 weeks as an extra added attraction. Now, I thought it was a month, but it does say 2 weeks down here, but we'll come back to that in a minute. During the time, he was dubbed the atomic-powered singer. A newspaper report of April 20th announcing the engagement noted that Elvis had been acclaimed by critics as the most important find since Johnny Ray. During personal appearances in California the previous week, Elvis attracted crowds of 5,000, and on 2 occasions, special squads of police had to be called to maintain order among his admiring fans. Sammy Lewis, the show's producer, called it one of the most lavish ever to be presented in Las Vegas. Now, what could possibly go wrong? Elvis did not belong on the same bill as Martin's big band, said Shecky Green. I didn't belong with Freddie Martin. Green, who turned 97 this year, says he had no idea what an Elvis Presley was when the singer was added to the Venus Room lineup for daily shows at 8 p.m. and midnight. His first glimpse of Elvis was the 2-story cutout Parker had placed in front of the new frontier. It was so overpowered, his own name on the marquee, in Green's mind, the cutout seemed like it was 75 foot tall. The comic opened the show with a sort of raucous, largely unscripted act that would make him a must-see attraction in lounges up and down the Strip for years to come. Okay, so I've got some pictures coming up here in a second, so I want to actually show you these as we go along. Martin and his orchestra performed songs made famous by the likes of Glenn Miller and Tommy Dorsey before backing the Venus Starlets in a medley of highlights from the musical Oklahoma. What followed was, by comparison, a lightning bolt of confusion. Elvis, with Scotty Moore on guitar, Bill Black on bass, and DJ Fontana on drums, took the stage in front of a plain curtain, and you can see it behind me there. All right. The 4-song set, Heartbreak Hotel, Long Tall Sally, Blue Suede Shoes, and Money Honey, came and went in 12 minutes before a dazed audience. Prior to this, every place he went, it was just screams. You couldn't really even hear the music. It was all about the screaming girls. Getting on stage in Vegas, it was kind of a shock to his system because he didn't get that feedback. There's a touch of desperation in his voice in the sole audio recording of those 2 weeks, taken from the show on Monday, May 6th, which turned out to be his final night. Elvis threw a little bit of everything at the Venus Room crowd that night. He was self-deprecating, referring to his biggest hit to date, the one for which he'd received his first gold record the previous night on the very stage he was standing on, as Heartburn Motel. Introducing Money Honey, he joked, "This song's really been a big seller for me. It sold 43. Another gag was, "This song here is called Get Out of the Stables, Grandma. You're too old to be horsing around," which we actually used as a jingle, a quiz jingle a few months back. Then he asked band leader Martin, "You know that one about Take Back Your Golden Garter, my leg it's turning green?" The most telling comment, though, came early on that evening. "I'd like to tell you it's been a real pleasure being in Las Vegas," Elvis said, full of sincerity. "This makes our 2nd week here, and tonight's our last night, and we've had a pretty hard time staying. A pretty hard time while we've been here." The reviews, too, were unkind. Newsweek famously said Elvis stood out in that environment like a jug of corn liquor at a champagne party. After the first night, Elvis and Green swapped places, with the young singer moving to the opening act. After the first week, Parker arranged for a 2 p.m. matinee concert at the New Frontier that teenage fans could attend. Now, here's the difference. Admission was $1 and came with a soda. Parker, ever the opportunist, was in the lobby selling souvenir photos for 25 cents. He went and got the girls, and you couldn't get near the place on Saturday afternoon, said Shecky Green. They pushed and shoved to get into the 1,000-seat room, and several hundred thwarted teenagers buzzed like angry hornets outside, Robert Johnson reported in the pages of the Memphis Press Scimitar. After the show, bedlam, a laughing, shouting mob swarmed him. He fled to the insufficient sanctuary of his suite. It was Elvis's return to live performances in 1969 after his years in Hollywood and the 7-year run of sold-out shows that followed that made the singer synonymous with Las Vegas. And of course, the same type of tourists who didn't know what to make of him in 1956 turned out in droves. As for the New Frontier Hotel, well, it and other facilities closed in January 1965 and the property never reopened. Bankers Life purchased Frontier Properties, Inc. in August of that year and leased it to a new company, Vegas Frontier, Inc. 6 months later, plans were announced to demolish the existing facilities entirely for a larger Frontier resort to be built on the site. The demolition process reached its final stage in May 1966. Groundbreaking for a new Frontier Hotel Casino took place on September the 26th, 1966. The $25 million complex opened on July 29th, 1967 with a 4-day celebration. It included 650 hotel rooms, entertainment venues, several restaurants, and convention space. The Frontier's roadside sign had a height of 184 feet, making it the tallest in Vegas at the time. The Frontier closed on July 16th, 2007 at 12:01 a.m. And following a 5-minute fireworks show, the 16-story atrium tower was imploded on November 13th, 2007 at 2:37 a.m. Thousands of spectators turned out to view the demolition. And you can actually see the demolition on YouTube. Just search the demolition or imploding of the Frontier Hotel, and it's all on there. So, what does everybody think about that? And these are the photographs that I wanted to show you. There's Elvis. You can see he's in a suit there, but in my background, he's in a sports jacket. And the reason being is because he wore a sports jacket and trousers in the first show. There's the cutout that Shecky Green thought was 75 feet high. There's Elvis and Scotty trying to whip up the crowd. And there, he met Liberace and his brother backstage. There is Elvis with the Venus Room starlets. He gets all the luck, doesn't he? Lovely looking ladies. There's the billboard, New Frontier Hotel. There's opening night, and he's in the sports jacket and trousers. And Shecky Green said to Colonel Parker that he shouldn't be wearing a sports jacket, he should be wearing a suit. And there they are relaxing outside in the sunshine. Elvis looks like he's only just got up there. Okay, so personally, I think that Elvis learned a lot from, Elvis is giving Colonel Parker his wallet. So personally, I think that Elvis learned a lot from those 2 weeks in Vegas. I don't particularly think that it was a mistake. I think it was just something that didn't quite work out. You can see from my explanation that when they brought the audience that Elvis was used to, and if you like, his target audience, he got a lot more of a reaction. Now you can hear, for anybody that hasn't heard the performance from May the 6th, 1956, his last performance in Vegas, in the Venus Room. You can hear it. You can find it on the box set. It was originally released on the Elvis Aaron Presley silver box set, the 25-year anniversary box set. But it's available widely now, and it's also available on YouTube. If you just feed in Elvis Presley live 1956 Las Vegas. Okay, that's for anybody that hasn't heard it. Any new fans. Personally, I think it was the other way around. It wasn't that Elvis wasn't ready for Vegas, but Vegas was not ready for Elvis. That's the way I look at it. And we can see that when he did return in 1969, he became Vegas. Vegas wouldn't have been anything without Elvis Presley in 1969 from 1976. That's for sure. So, and Rebel Vegan says, agree, Steve. Dolores says, I agree. That's basically what it was. It's not that, Vegas was just not ready for him. So, we're going to do the poll, and then I'm going to open the phone lines in case anybody wants to ring in about that or anything else they want to ring in about. And the poll, yes, I'm going to have to put this up a few times because it's one that's sort of to remind you what it is. So here we go. It's which army hat is your favorite? We did the hats last week, and I think it was the cowboy hat that won. Well, this one is number 1, ROT style. Number 2, helmet. Number 3, peaked cloth. Or number 4, furry. Okay. And the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to put that up for a little while. And it is, as I say, number 1. It's like an ROTC hat, isn't it? Number 2 is the hard hat or the helmet. Number 3 is the peaked cloth cap, if you like. And then number 4 is the furry. So get your votes in as quick as you can. And I will be putting that up on the screen on and off throughout the show. So I can see quite a few votes coming in already. And let me just take a sip of coffee. Because I had to do quite a bit of talking there for the topic. Which army hat is your favorite? ROTC style, helmet, peaked cloth, or the furry hat? The furry. And I don't know if that peak seems to, I don't know whether you could, whether there was a press stud that you could press and it would stay up. So, yeah, quite a, Kirsty's already voted. She says number 3. Vincenzo says peaked cloth. Okay. That's number 3. Yeah, a lot of people seem to be going for number 3. Sandra P says, love a man in uniform. Which reminds me, we're going to have a lot of fun later on with the caption, this photo. Because I've thought of a thing I can do when I show you the photo. Okay, so it's a lot of fun. Right. So you can, when I open the phone lines in a minute, actually, I'm not going to open the phone lines in a minute. I'm going to open the phone lines now in case anybody wants to ring in. Right. So that's the topic for this week. I don't think it was. I don't think it was too negative. People are saying, "Oh, it was too." You know, these are negative comments, but or negative topics. But no, I actually think Elvis did himself proud. You know, he could have just given up, but he didn't. Hello.
Hey,
Hey, Dylan.
Yeah, it's me again.
You got one right tonight, did you?
Yep.
Oh, you're slacking. You're slacking.
I am. It's. I'll tell you what it is. It's ever since I won the prize.
Yeah.
Back in May.
Yeah.
I've just been slacking ever since.
What was I going to say? What's this song I keep hearing about on the chat? What's all that about?
The song.
Yeah, I heard a song or drumming or something on the chat.
Oh, okay. So, alright. So, basically, Anne Y. She's wrote a song.
Oh, she's wrote a song. Anne Wise wrote a song. Okay.
Yeah. and she asked me to put the music to it.
Oh, very good. Okay.
So I was like, listen, I'll do it. I will do it. Cause yeah, and then like cause like it's hard. Cause like it's hard to write music to words. But
yes.
But in this case, it was easy because like when you like read the words to and why like wrote, it kind of just like like triggered a melody.
And is it about Elvis?
It doesn't. So it doesn't like say his name, but I'm almost convinced it is.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Right. Well, I'm going to look forward to hearing this. I'm sure you'll send me a copy.
Well, yeah, I'll try.
Great. Okay. What did you want to talk about?
Vegas.
Oh yeah, 1956.
Yeah, I think what it was a learning curve for him.
Yeah.
Because I think what he realized was that what he was doing wasn't suited to the older people like just yet. Because I feel like his music was targeted at that time towards like the younger kids. So by the time 69 rolls around, he's got a lot more of like mature vibes going on. So that by the time he hits the stage in July, he's already got him.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't consider it a flop. I mean, he stayed there for the 2 weeks. Now there is. I mean, people are saying he was booked for 4 weeks. I always thought he was booked for 4 weeks, and they cut it short to 2 weeks. But in the article that I was reading this week, it said 2 weeks that he was booked for. So whether he stayed for the full term, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I don't think it was a flop.
No.
It was. I mean, maybe it was a flop in the sense that he didn't get the reaction that he was used to getting.
Yeah, well, there was no there was no screaming, but the way I got it was, Vegas wasn't really a screaming place in 1956 anyway. It was,
well, I mean, even even later on in the 70s, in the audience recordings, he he'll be there like singing his heart out to like American Trilogy, and then at the end it'll just be like golf claps.
Yeah.
So to be fair, it didn't really change.
Oh, I mean, yeah, you're right. Even in the 70s, you can tell the difference between an on-tour recording and Las Vegas. The Las Vegas audiences were always quieter.
Well, yeah, because I feel like on the on-tour crowds, they were pumped like right from the start.
Yeah.
Whereas like Vegas crowd, they were just kind of like, I feel like they still enjoyed the show, but they wanted to kind of gamble, which is why like I found this out is that in 1971 for some reason they actually said to Elvis, they said, "Hey, listen, can you put your set down to like 30 minutes?"
Yeah.
And it's like you don't tell Elvis to do a 30-minute set.
No, of course you
don't. You know what I mean? Like if he if he wants to do a 10-hour set, he will do a 10-hour set if you let him. But it's just the fact that they didn't. But I know I'm going off topic a little bit. But on Elvis's, because Elvis did like Tahoe engagement every like 3 years in the 70s. Well, the last show that he did in Tahoe, it was like a 1 hour and 59-minute show.
Mm-hmm.
And it was crazy because like he's doing stuff like When the Saints Go Marching In, combined with CC Rider, and it's like, whoa. It's just like, and I feel like in the late years he enjoyed Tahoe more than he did Vegas personally.
Yeah,
and
I mean we all know that he got bored with Vegas in the end.
Yeah, and I feel like the reason why he enjoyed Tahoe so much was because he wasn't doing it every year like he was in Vegas. Because he'd do it in 71 and then he'd take 72 off and then go back in 73, which is I feel like they should have done that for Vegas.
Yeah.
But I understand that they've got a like a contract.
You see, just going back to them telling Elvis he was spending too long on stage. I mean, let's face it, they wouldn't, those people wouldn't even be there to gamble if Elvis hadn't been appearing anyway. I mean, we know that when Elvis appeared, attendances skyrocketed. All the hotels were booked out for months in advance. So I don't know why they were asking him to cut his show short anyway, because. I mean, revenue went up immediately. Elvis arrived, and then it went down again as soon as he left.
Yeah,
he became Vegas from '69 to '76. He epitomized Vegas.
I mean, not only did he become Vegas, he was Vegas.
Yeah, he was Vegas. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I agree. Yeah. Now, tell me, young man, right? Which hat is your favorite?
All right, so I'm in the minority, it looks like.
Okay.
I'm in the furry hat gang.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It's a strange hat, all right. I mean, even the peak is kind of snapped up or poppered up or something.
I mean, it is, but what sold it was the big cheesy grin on his face.
Yeah.
That's what sold it for me.
Yeah. Okay. Right, the furry hat it is. All right, Dylan, cheers. All the best. Bye. Bye. Yeah, so Dylan is going for the furry hat. Okay. Let's just check here, see what we got. Hello.
Hello, Steve. It's Mark.
Hiya, Mark. How are you doing?
I'm all right, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, what do you think?
Oh, yeah, you're right. Vegas wasn't ready for Elvis in 1956, but the Colonel got a good deal, good book, didn't they? And
I mean, they still got the 15,000 regardless. And I mean, 15,000 even today, 15,000 isn't bad. But in '56, it was a lot of money.
A lot of money, yeah. He probably never really sussed it out, did he? He probably just thought, well, it's a nice hotel. There's acts on there. He's an up and coming one. Throw him on, but he didn't kind of. He looked at a place, I suppose, with the other acts, and the crowd there were not the same as the Elvis crowd that he was playing at the time, isn't it? It was live gigs and stuff,
He was asked about it afterwards, wasn't he? And Elvis said it was a strictly adult audience, they weren't really into my style of singing. That's really what he said. I mean, the thing is, right, is if you listen back to the recording, he's getting applause, he's getting laughs to his jokes and things like that. Yeah. It's not like a graveyard. It's not just completely silent when he speaks.
No, it's not silent, and he did try and crack a joke and try and get the crowds to laugh and joke, I suppose, as well. Like you say, it was on the box set, and it's also there was a bit of some songs on. I remember the Rare Elvis's album.
Yeah,
there was bits of that were on there as well. Yeah, but it wasn't a bombshell. To me, the only bombshell for Elvis being on TV as live was always the Steve Allen Show, singing to Hound Dog.
Yeah. I mean, you could call that a bigger car crash than the Vegas 56, really, couldn't you?
Yeah, that was a bad move from the Colonel, but but he learned his craft, didn't he? When he got to 69, he had the crowd in the palm of his hand, didn't he? So
Yeah, but I wonder if like they showed in Elvis the movie, the Kurt Russell one, did he have his doubts, do you think, in 1969 before he stepped out on the stage on July 31st?
I'm sure he did, because he still had his doubts in 68.
Yeah.
He didn't want to step out in front of a live audience, a studio live audience in 1968.
Correct.
He had to be told, come on, you got to do this by Steve, and he got out there and then forgot all about it. I assumed it was probably a bigger step for him to be like that, because obviously Vegas was a big thing. It was a new hotel, he knew he was the second act on after Streisand, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And it's a big thing, it's a new show, isn't it? A new band. He was going out there.
Yeah. I think the international showroom is 2,200. So
he was kind of showing the whole world his new show, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And performing some of the songs that he might not have done for a while. I know he did a few in the '68 comeback, and mainly he did sing all the old songs because he was asked to do the old songs, wasn't he? But he was still doing some new stuff, wasn't he? And how it would go over. But he just. He didn't bomb them, did he? He just
definitely not.
He did become Mr. Vegas, didn't he? Really, he was, So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, time his craft from '69, and when he got onto 71, he owned the stage, and there'll never be another one like him anyway. Create that atmosphere and the whole.
Do you think it was 637 or 837, or we're going to have to sit down and count them up?
I think it's 837, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, I mean, the papers this week have been saying that Barry Manilow has broken Elvis's record by doing 638. So
I heard that, but I'm sure it was 837. I wouldn't like to put, but I'm sure I have heard that. But I heard that. But it's Barry Manilow to Elvis. There's no comparison.
No, and not only that, he took a lot longer to do it anyway. I mean, Elvis did it in 7 years, 1969 to 76. I don't know how long Barry's been at it, but he's been at it quite a while.
He's been at it quite a while. I remember when I went to Vegas, he was playing it, and I went to Vegas in 2027.
Yeah.
And he was playing it then, and he's been playing it for a few years before then. He was the top act there. But but I'm sure if Elvis would have lived, he would have even topped that even more. I suppose he would have had to go back there to do a few things, but in the long run. But I'm sure he would have done some more shows there, but hopefully broke away and made it, to Europe and all that, really. But yeah.
Right, the hats. Which one?
Oh, the hat. For me, number 3.
Number 3. Right. The peaked cloth.
Yeah,
okay.
The peaked cloth. Yeah, it's more. I don't know. It's more armor. I like that little bits where you see him when he puts his hand on his hat, the peak, doesn't he?
Yes.
That, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. To me, I think there's more shots of him in that than the other one. But for that one's 3 for me. Yeah.
Alrighty. Okay.
All right, Steve.
All the best. Good to hear from you. Cheers, Mark. Bye. Yeah. So we've got peaked cloth there. Listen, I don't know whether it actually matters that Barry Manilow has broken Elvis's record. Elvis was the first to do it anyway. We know there'll only ever be one Elvis. Actually, Barry paid tribute to Elvis by singing Hound Dog on stage for that 638th performance. Hello.
Hi, Steve. It's me, Vincenzo.
Hey, Vincenzo. How are you?
I'm doing good.
You're coming through loud and clear anyway. Okay, so what do you think about Vegas then? Do you think he flopped, or do you just think that Vegas wasn't ready for?
They weren't ready for him then.
Yeah, exactly. He was ahead of his time. Vegas was stuck in the mud in 1956.
I got the box set Elvis here in Presley, and you can't even hear any clapping.
Any what?
Any clapping?
No, I can't hear any cracking. Okay, now let me ask you about the hat. Did you choose a hat?
Number 3.
Number 3. Oh, another vote for the peaked cloth. Okay, no problem. Alrighty.
Okay, nice talking to you.
Thanks, Vincenzo. All the best.
Goodbye.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure. I think he was asking, were we getting crackling on the line? But no, he was coming through loud and clear. Hello. I missed a call there, I think. Which is a shame. If the person that was ringing then would like to call again, I think his name was Tim. I did see the name Tim on the phone. So Tim, I'm sorry if I missed your call. You can call back and I will obviously answer. I'm not sure which way he was calling in. Oh, there. Hello? Hello there. Hello, can you hear me? No, unfortunately not. Okay. Right, we are going to move on to the Elvis history, October the 1st. Now, still to come is the Photoshop, and I wish Elvis had captioned this photo. Underrated song. This week it's picked by Andrew Edwards, has picked the underrated Elvis song. A YouTube channel I recommend. Well, not so much I'm going to recommend it. I want to give this channel a shout out, and it'll become obvious why I'm shouting this channel out when I do it. Smoking Hot, April. It's your photograph that I've picked this week, and don't forget this poll, okay? And which is your favorite hat? Number 1, number 2, number 3, or number 4? Now I have, of course, photographs for this day in Elvis history. Elvis, Scotty and Bill played Eagle's Nest in Memphis, a nightclub over the changing room of the Clearpool complex. Louisiana Hayride in 1955, and there is the Louisiana Hayride. Such a great building. 1956, after test audiences have a negative reaction to Elvis dying at the end of the film, Love Me Tender, he is called back to reshoot the scene. And there is him reshooting the scene. In the new ending, he's a singing ghost of an extra verse of Love Me Tender on the Fox Sound stage for use over the final credits of the movie. The backing vocals and strings were subsequently overdubbed. So there you are. Is that the only movie that shows Elvis dying? I think it is, because in Flaming Star, you don't actually see him die. He rides off into the sunset, doesn't he? So there you are. That was Love Me Tender. 1957, Elvis appeared not singing on WMCT radio and a TV fundraising event in Memphis, where he told the audience that the shooting of his next movie would begin on October 30th. 1958, we know what was happening in 1958, don't we? Yes. At 8:46 a.m., the USS Randall docked at the German port of Bremerhaven, where there were now over 1,500 fans and an army of press. Elvis and his battalion, Company D, 32nd Tank Battalion, 3rd Armoured Division, took a troop train from Bremerhaven to Friedberg, arriving at 7:30 p.m. We've seen newsreel of this, and that fella there is trying to be the first person to get an autograph on German soil, but unfortunately Elvis has to apologize because he's carrying a huge bag, as you can see, on his shoulder, so he is unable to sign that man's autograph book. You can actually see Elvis apologizing profusely to that guy that he can't do it. And as we know, Elvis never refused an autograph, and I wouldn't even claim he's refusing that there. It's just impossible for him to sign his name. 1960, Flaming Star. 1965, Elvis left LA for Memphis. 1967, Elvis went to Nashville again to Studio B to record 3 songs for his soundtrack of his next film, Stay Away Joe. Elvis was not involved in the song selection and was discouraged by the lack of quality of the movie material. That he made Felton Jarvis swear that he would never release one of the songs on record. Dominique, about a bull. RCA did, as we know later. Basically what they did on this day is Stay Away Joe movie version, Stay Away Joe record version. All I Needed Was the Rain. All I Needed Was the Rain vocal overdub, and of course the aforementioned Dominique. 1968, Drewy Phillips had died, and Elvis attended his funeral at the Memphis Funeral Home, where 10 years earlier the funeral of his mother was held. He offered Drewy's widow his condolences and said, Mrs. Dorothy, Dewey was my friend. 1974. We have Elvis performed at the University of Notre Dame Athletic and Convention Center, South Bend, Indiana. And there's the Chinese dragon suit. You like that one? There's Vernon taking his seat. The Chinese dragon suit. You like that one, Dylan? Yeah? Not a bad one. Not a bad one. Right. So that was this day in Elvis history. And Photoshop is coming up. Don't forget, I'm still looking for plenty of votes on your favorite Elvis Army hat. ROTC style, which is number 1. Number 2, which is the hard helmet. The 3, which is the peaked cloth, is the only sort of name I could think of. And then the furry one is number 4. So keep voting on that. And also, I would ask if you can thumbs up this video. Everybody that watches this live and everybody that watches this on playback, simply give this a thumbs up. We target 300 likes for the video. Unfortunately, I failed last week. But the week before, we did over 300. So I was very proud of you, but I failed last week. So some you win, some you lose. Now, Photoshop. Yes, Photoshop. I'll just take the poll away for a second so we don't get confused. Now, Photoshop is this one here. And this is, as you can see, Elvis and Priscilla on a plane. And, well, that's Elvis in 1972, April 1972. And unfortunately, as we know, Priscilla had left Elvis by April 1972. So this is Photoshop. And it is, there's the real one. Okay. And it's the real picture is of Elvis, shows him on a plane after arrival in Roanoke, Virginia, on 11th of April 1972, and being greeted by Mayor Roy Weber with a guitar floral arrangement. And you can see the footage in Elvis on Tour documentary. It's quite funny actually, because he breaks the string. He's nervous and he kind of breaks the floral arrangement, and then when the mayor leaves, he sings "Carry Me Back to Old Virginia." So it's quite a funny sequence. And there is where Priscilla's part is taken from. She's shown backstage at the International Hotel in Las Vegas with Joni Esposito, Joe's wife. So that's this week's Photoshop. If you see that one going around, that one there, you know, no, it's not genuine, it's Photoshop. So thanks, April, for sending that in. I think it was April that sent it in. Or was it? No, I tell you, sorry, I'm getting confused. April sent Smoking Hot in. That's from Kirsty Marie. Thanks, Kirsty. Exposing Elvis's Photoshops on Instagram. So, yeah. Now, we've got to go on to a song I wish Elvis had recorded, suggested by Laurie Gelman. If when you're going around your business during the week and you hear a song playing on the radio or in the supermarket or petrol station, gas station, whatever, and you wished Elvis had recorded it, well, send it in to me and I can maybe feature it in a future show. This one is a folk song written by Tim Hardin in the 1960s. As I go on, I'm going to ask to see if people know what it is. In the 1960s, and re-recorded with commercial success by various artists including Bobby Darin, the Four Tops and Johnny Cash. Hardin's own recording of the song appeared on the 1967 album Tim Hardin 2. It was one of two songs that from that release, the other being Misty Roses, performed by Harding at Woodstock in 1969. The song, believed by some to be about male romantic insecurity, is rumoured to have been inspired by his love for actress Susan Morse. The song became the biggest hit for Darin, since his 1963 song, You're the Reason I'm Living. Elvis actually did a snatch of that on stage, didn't he? He must have liked Bobby because he also did I'll Be There as well in the Memphis Sound Studio recordings in 69. It says, reaching number 8 on the Billboard Hot 100. It also peaked at number 9 in the UK. Darren's recording received a Grammy nomination for Best Contemporary Rock and Roll Solo Vocal Performance at the 9th Annual Grammy Awards, but lost to Paul McCartney's Eleanor Rigby. Right, now let's have a look. Anybody guessed it yet? Maybe not. Laurie says, hi Steve. Boy, it's hard to beat Bobby Darin on anything vocally, but I think Elvis could have given him a run for his money on Tim Hardin's song. What do you think? Okay, and I'm going to tell you that somebody has said, Vincenzo says, if I had a hammer. No, it's actually, if I were a carpenter. Okay, that's what it is. And I'll put the link below in case you're not familiar with it. And that's the one that Laurie wished that Elvis had a song as well, If I Were a Carpenter. Right. We're going to do caption this photo. So, here's the Bobby Darin, If I Were a Carpenter. Okay. Now, caption this photo. It was this. It was this one. Elvis with a hand puppet. Yeah. And some people left comments saying, I'm leaving the building. He's going to take over. Give him a chance, guys. He needs the job. This duet is going to be challenging. I'm leaving the building. Oh no, I've already done that one. I thoughts of the mouse. If anybody else tried to touch me there... the police started filming the show and I couldn't move. The only thing I could move was my little mouse right here. And somebody else put, and I like this one, treat me mice. Okay, but the winner is Invisible Generation. Thanks, Invisible Generation. And it's simply Caught in a Trap. Okay, that was the one that got the most likes. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to show you another photograph next Tuesday in the community tab and put your caption against it. Give a thumbs up to the other ones that you like, and the one that gets the most likes gets a shout out. But Invisible Generation gets a round of applause for Caught in a Trap. Thanks very much. Thanks for everybody that sent in a caption. It is hard some weeks to try and pick my favorite or favorites that I give before the one that gets the thumbs up. Now, a YouTube channel I recommend. It's not so much a recommend. I want to shout out to Ashley Drew, who is Ashley's Adventures, and Ashley Nerd as well, I think she's called on Instagram. She was in hospital for a operation. She's doing well, and it's all behind her now. And I just wanted to give Ashley a shout out from all the Elvis family. We know, I'm pretty sure that most people on here know who I'm talking about when I say Ashley Drew. Get well soon, sweetheart. We're all thinking of you. And without doubt, one of the best YouTube channels about Elvis, bar none. Okay? So that's the YouTube channel. I just wanted to shout out to Ashley. Get well soon. Underrated Elvis songs. Yes. Yes, yes. Here we go. This is suggested by Andrew Edwards. It was a song released as the B-side to The Wonder of You on April 20th, 1970, and on the 1970 RCA Camden release, Elvis Christmas Album. The song was recorded on January the 16th, 1969, American Sound Studios, Memphis, Tennessee. The song peaked at number 9 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart. The song was composed by Johnny Christopher, who also co-wrote If You Talk in Your Sleep and Always on My Mind, both recorded by Elvis. Any guesses what it is? Jack says, glad Ashley is doing well. Yes. great person, great channel. Yeah, everybody is just sort of echoing really what I'm saying. Such a lovely girl. Vincent so says, I love Ashley's channel. Yeah. So let's see if anybody can guess this underrated Elvis song. Mrs. EAP Elaine, Mama Like the Roses. Correct. That is what Andrew said was underrated. He feels that Mama Like the Roses is an underrated Elvis song. I don't even know if I need to put the link below, but I will, just because I like to do that and just to keep it straight. So we need to do. I need to really close. I really need to close the poll, don't I? Because I'm pretty well sort of cleared everything else up. I'm going to look. I'm going to tell you what I went for as well, and. Okay. No real surprises there, actually, because it's number 3. The peaked cloth is 68. ROT style 18%. The furry only got 7, and the helmet 5. Wow. I'm in the majority this week, folks. I would have gone for the peaked cloth, which is number 3. And let's just get those up again. If you see number 3 there with the very handsome soldier there smiling at us, that's the one I went for as well. Only 5% went for number 2. Okay. Yeah, and number 1 got 18% of the votes, so not too bad. Not too bad at all. I've got... I have to do Smoking Hot, don't I, really? I can't keep you waiting any longer. So I'm going to do the Smoking Hot picture, if I can clear that one. And this is it. Smoking Hot. Ladies, calm yourself. There's no set screaming. Lily, Kirsty, Ruth, everybody is screaming. Girls, control yourselves. Goodness me, what a reaction. Yes, I could hear, I could hear Mrs. EAP in there. I could hear Kirsty, Maxine in there, Gracie, Jill, I could definitely hear your screaming in there. Jill, Brett. Yeah. So that is the Smoking Hot photo of this week. Elvis is so beautiful. It was dangerous, says Helen. Helen, were you one of the ones that were screaming? Were you? Yeah, I just thought I'd add a little track to the Smoking Hot photo this week. Definitely from Stay Away Joe. Yes, that is from Stay Away Joe. Yeah. Carolina says, oh my God, OMMGGG. Goodness gracious, great balls of fire. Yeah. Okay. Now, ladies and gentlemen, on that note, I will take leave. Thank you very, very much. I have a slurp of coffee. And if anybody would like to purchase me a cup of coffee, it would be most grateful. It helps towards the upkeep of the channel, and it just shows that I'm going in the right direction, and I am appreciated. So that hour and quarter went by very quickly. And I must admit, I enjoyed it tonight. Sorry about the little hiccup on the backwards Elvis playbacks. I'll get it right next week. And I'll tell you next week who won last month's Fan of the Month. Until then, Al, take it away.
Elvis has left the building. Thank you and good night.